Hi there. Mrs. Whitman and I were talking the other day, and she thought it would be a good idea if I were to make a video and kind of explain a little bit about what's going to happen in the next few months as we prepare to transition and change from 2 elementary schools to 1. And so I've been working on this, and it's harder than you would think it is to talk about what's going to happen next and talk about yourself a little bit. Those aren't things that are very good for me, so I will do my best. If you don't know who I am Mr. D. I am currently the principal at Red Arrow Elementary, and next year I'm going to be the principal of the preschool through 5th grade elementary building. And some of you might be thinking, oh my gosh, Mr. D, all you do is work with little kids. How can you be in a school with 3rd, 4th, and 5th graders? Well, here's what you should know. Before I came to Hartford, I taught in a school called White Pigeon, and I taught 5th grade, 6th grade, middle school, technology, and 1st grade. And in fact, I spent most of the time teaching 5th grade. So I feel like I know bigger kids pretty well, and I think I can do okay in those classrooms too. So I'll be visiting over there a little bit. It gives me a chance to see all the great things happening in classrooms with you and your teachers, and gives me a chance to get to know them better and get to know you again. Those of you who are brand new, it gives me a chance to know you and to start thinking about what kind of things I can do as the new principal of a brand new kindergarten through 5th grade building to make sure everybody feels included. And I'm pretty excited, I'll be honest, about working with the older kids again also. It's a lot of fun working with little kids, but they're cute and they do fun things, but so do big kids. In fact, I got to tell you, I was thinking how I could prepare myself for this. Those of you who were with me here at Red Arrow know that I really like books, and that's one of my favorite things to do is to read. And so I've missed the last 5 years. I've missed having a chance to read a lot of what I would call older kid or big kid literature, chapter books, things like that. Because younger kids they're reading a lot of picture books and they read thin chapter books, but nothing like what you older students are reading. And so, in fact, I've got 2 here, if it's okay. I want to share 2 great readings. So if you're looking for some new books to read, let me make a recommendation. My first one is called Ramee Nightingale, and it's by, let me move this hand, Kate DiCamillo. You might recognize that name if you read Because of Winn-Dixie, or if you've read The Miraculous Adventure of Edward Tulane? It's the book about Edward Tulane. She's written other books, too. She's a fantastic author. Ramee is the main character. You can see it's a girl character living in Florida. It kind of reminds me a little bit of Because of Winn-Dixie, because it takes place in Florida, and it's a girl and her dad, and mom is not able to be there with them. But then there are some twists throughout the story, and some crazy, crazy things happen because there are 2 other girls involved, and one of those 2 girls is trying to run away from a mean lady who works for the county. And so they have to go hunting this runaway cat, just crazy stuff. And so if you enjoy a good book with a strong girl character, and yes, boys can read these books too, I recommend Ramee Nightingale. My other recommendation right now, this one I found this summer also, it's called Pax. Oh, such a great book. Pax is the story of a boy and his fox. Now, he raised this fox from when it was a kit, a little fox. And then one day his dad tells him, you got to get rid of the fox because I'm going off to war and you're going to go live with your grandpa who doesn't really want him. And so he has to let his fox go back into the wild. And his fox, Pax, has never, ever lived in the wild before. He's always been like a domesticated or a tame fox. And so tons of twists because, well, you can guess, the boy figures out really quickly that his grandpa doesn't want him to live with him in his house. And he's about 100 miles away from where he let Pax go. And he's kind of an adventurous kid. That's all I'm going to tell you for now. One of the cool things I like about this book, though, one chapter is from the boy's perspective. The next chapter is from the fox's perspective. The fox isn't talking. It's not a fantasy story. But the fox does a great job, the author does a great job of making sure we know what's inside the fox's head and what he's thinking and feeling. And what he's going through is he learns how to go from being a tame fox to a wild fox. Big change. High recommendation on this one, too. And you can see not a ton of words. I mean, there's a lot of words on the page, but they're big print. I always like books that are big print. And there are some illustrations in here as well. So that would be my recommendation for books. I'm also thinking about team time and what that would look like with big kids, how we can do some things differently to make it some choices possibly. So I've got all kinds of things running around in my head. So I'm looking forward to coming over to Woodside and getting to know all of you again and seeing all the great things going on. I do need your help, though. When I have time to come over and visit, which won't be every day, because there's a lot going on at Red Arrow too. But when I come over there, I want to be able to walk into classrooms like I do at Red Arrow and just sit in and be part of the learning, listen to what's going on, watch, and those things. So here's what I need from you. When I walk into your classroom, I need you to make sure you stay seated, number one. And then also, rather than like yelling out, "Hey, Mr. D," or anything like that, real quick, quiet wave would be fine if you need to do that, and then back into the learning mode. And if there's a chance later on for me to talk with you about what you're learning or what you're reading or those kinds of things, I will do that, but I want to make sure you're focused on what's going on because I don't want to interrupt any of the learning going on. Same is true if you see me in the hallway. Yeah, if there's time and I'm able to do and talk to you and give hugs and those kinds of things, I'm happy to do those kinds of things, but we need to make sure that everyone has a chance to learn in the building, and so we can't get crazy loud or anything like that. So I just want to make sure I was clear on that. I know you probably heard the same thing from your teachers, and so I just want to make sure you understand that it really is, it's not anyone trying to be mean, but the first thing we come to school for is the learning part, so we need to make sure we're protecting learning. That's all I know. So with that, I look forward to seeing you guys and getting to know all about 3rd, 4th, and 5th grade in Hartford. Have a fantastic day.